Hey everyone, today I'm going to give you a quick and easy guide to making the world's best kombucha. So why are we making kombucha? There are so many good reasons why making kombucha is a good idea, but here are my top 3. Firstly, kombucha is absolutely delicious, so I probably drink it every day of my life. I absolutely love the taste. Secondly, kombucha is really good for us, so it's a healthy way to help your gut microbiome grow, which makes our tummy happy. Lots of really good healthy properties that come out of kombucha, so it's great for your health. Thirdly, kombucha can help you lose weight. So if you're drinking lots of fizzy drinks, your Cokes, your Sprites, you can transition to kombucha because it's still got that fizzy goodness that can help you kind of steer away from those drinks that are really high in sugar and that are going to pack those pounds on. So what will you need to make kombucha? Well, firstly, the thing that you definitely need is my good friend over here, a SCOBY. So this guy is the star of the show and you'll definitely need one of these. So you're probably thinking, Justin, what the hell are you holding? And this is called a SCOBY. So essentially it's a living culture that helps break down our sugary tea into a rich, probiotic, beautiful, fizzy beverage. Your next question might be, where do I get one of these strange looking SCOBYs from? And it's actually quite simple. You can easily get one on Amazon or somewhere like that online. They're fairly cheap. I think I saw one for $15 and it will come in like a little kit. Or you could look on Facebook Marketplace, a few of those local things. Someone might be making kombucha and giving one away. Or I'll personally deliver one to your house. So if you comment down below and like the video, I'll be at your house with my SCOBY. And fun fact, every time you make a batch of kombucha, it will make another SCOBY. So another one will be born, and by the time you've made a few batches, you'll have these things literally coming out of your ears. You won't know what to do with all of them. So just to begin with, you won't have one, but after a while, you'll be stacking them in your house. They'll be everywhere. So that's something you need to consider as well. Give them away to friends, teach your friends how to make it. It's really good and it becomes quite a social activity, which is cool. You will also need a jug or something to measure 3 liters of water. So also 3 liters of water. You'll also need a measuring cup. So this one's 250. So use 250 mils or a standard measuring cup because you'll use this to measure your sugar. Speaking of sugar, you need, like I said, 250 mils of sugar, and you can use either raw sugar or white sugar. I've used both and I haven't really tasted a difference, but if you prefer using raw sugar, go for it. You will also need a 3-liter glass jar or container. So I got this one at Kmart, it was $10. They're also quite cheap. Yeah, glass jar that you're gonna pour all your liquid goodness into. You will also need some regular paper towel that you're gonna put on top of your kombucha when you leave it to ferment. So paper towel is essential. You are also gonna need some bottles. Any kind of bottle will do. I really like using glass ones because they look cool and I find it works better in glass bottles. So you can get these anywhere, you can get them online, you can get them at like your grocery store, at IKEA, they're pretty cheap as well. So a minimum of 2 glass bottles for this batch that I'm gonna make because it's 3 liters of kombucha. Next, what you're gonna need is tea bags, and you're gonna need 4 tea bags of extra strong black tea. And I found Dilma Extra Strong has worked really well for me. I'm sure other black tea will work fine. You're also gonna need a big pot which can hold 3 liters of water because this is where we're gonna make our tea in first. The first step in making your kombucha is bringing 3 liters of water to boil on the stove. As soon as the water starts boiling, add the 1 cup of sugar and stir like crazy so the sugar dissolves. Once you've stirred the sugar in, you're gonna take the pot off the hot stove. Then you're gonna add your 4 tea bags and let them brew for 15 minutes. These tea bags are gonna make the world's biggest tea. After 15 minutes, you're gonna take your tea bags out and let your tea cool down to room temperature. It's really important to let your tea cool down to room temperature because if you move on to the next step when your tea's too hot, the SCOBY could potentially die and the kombucha will be ruined. Once that tea is cooled down to room temperature, you're gonna pour it all into that 3-liter glass jar. Next, you're gonna pour in 1 cup of already made kombucha. Now, this kombucha might have come from the kit that you bought online, it might have come from someone you know, or you can go to the shop and buy just a regular kombucha. Really recommend just a plain kombucha that's not flavored, because this will work best. The reason we do this is it helps kickstart our fermenting process. The SCOBY likes it when there's something already established in there, so it just makes the process go a bit more smoother and probably a bit faster as well. Now it's time for the exciting part. we're gonna add our SCOBY into the glass jar. Next, we are gonna put our paper towel on top of the glass jar and secure it with some elastic band. The reason we do this is because the SCOBY needs to breathe. So if we put a solid lid on top of the jar, it's just gonna die, the SCOBY. So we need to have it breathing a little bit without anything gross falling in. So we're just gonna use a paper towel with an elastic band to keep it breathing and stop anything falling into our beautiful mixture. What I also really like doing is wrapping up the jar in a bit of tea towel. Sometimes I just use a bath towel if I don't have a tea towel available. And this just helps the mixture stay warm, stay away from that sunlight that could potentially harm the fermenting process. And I don't know, it's become a bit of a habit for me just to wrap my kombucha up and take care of it. Then all we need to do is pop our kombucha in a nice warm, dark place that it's not going to be disturbed. I personally like to put it in a linen cupboard. You can put it in the cupboard in your bedroom, just somewhere where it's not going to get bumped and knocked and where it's going to be a bit warmer and away from anything that's gonna rattle it and disturb the fermenting process. Now all we have to do is wait. This is probably the hardest step because you're so excited to drink the damn stuff that you keep checking on it, but I promise you, just out of sight, out of mind, and the process will go super quick. So now we're gonna wait 10 to 14 days of just leaving it. You don't have to do a single thing. Before you pour the kombucha into your glass jugs, you're gonna give it a quick strain using a strainer. I forgot to mention, also great to have a strainer on board. You can use a sieve as well if you don't have one. Just something to strain some of that sediment that's been created in the kombucha. After the 10 to 14 days, you're gonna open the kombucha up and have a bit of a taste test to see how it tastes. If the kombucha tastes too sweet, that means the SCOBY hasn't eaten up all the sugar and you're gonna need to leave it for a little bit longer. It's still gonna eat that sugar. You don't want this to be an unhealthy, sugary drink. If the kombucha tastes too vinegary, it probably means that you've left it too long and it's gone vinegary. But I have found that if you get to this stage, you can save it by adding a bit of soda water into your glass and it's not too bad to drink. It's still brilliant for your health, but it won't be as nice as if you get it a little bit sooner before it gets vinegary. Now all we have to do is bottle it up and we are ready to go. You can put it in the fridge, you can put it in the cupboard, just bottle it up and you're good to go. What I've found is it's always good to strain the kombucha before you drink it because it will have a bit of SCOBY in there, so you'll find that if you keep it in the fridge and stuff, there will be some sediment left in the bottle. So give it a strain before you drink and before you give it to your friends, because they'll think, what the hell has this person made me with all this gunk in there? So definitely strain. Pro tip, if you're getting really good at this process, you can mix it up by adding some fruit. So when you're bottling the kombucha, you can chop some fruit up, you can get creative with the fruit you use. So I've tried ginger, I've tried berries. Pop that in your bottle, bottle it up and just leave it for another 3 to 4 days. And what will happen is those bacteria in your kombucha will start eating the fruit and it will start giving it a flavor of that fruit. So that's another thing you can do to take your kombucha to the next level. Start experimenting with some fruit. Now it's time to try some of our creation. I've actually had some before I started filming because it's so good. And you'll find that the more and more you do it, the better and better you'll get, and you'll start nailing it every time you make it. So I hope this video was really quick and easy for you to follow. Please let me know in the comments how you guys went with making your kombucha. Even if it was a disaster, still message me and hopefully we can work through your problems together. But thanks for following through, guys, and have a lovely day. I will see you back here next time with another video. That's good.